Welcome to Science. Stand beside of your desk. Let's begin by reviewing the water cycle. Remember, evaporation, condensation, and then there's precipitation. Say the chant with me. Evaporation, condensation, then we have what's called precipitation. One more time. Evaporation, condensation, then we have what's called precipitation. You may have a seat. We'll see in our lesson today just how important the water cycle is and how, even though we looked at that in our last chapter, it can affect the Earth's surface and the look of the crust and the soil that we have around us. Let's take a look at the water cycle a little bit closer and look at each of those different steps. So remember, we learned there were 6 special parts of what takes place in the water cycle. What's taking place in the first picture? Adrian, help us out.
The sun's heat is warming the earth.
Right, the sun is heating the earth. Then what takes place next? This is all a part of evaporation. Timothy, what's happening here?
When water vapor rises.
The water vapor begins to rise. When that water vapor begins to rise, what takes place in number 3, Brennan?
It starts to form a cloud.
Not quite. We're not there yet. We're still in the phase of evaporation. Amory, can you help us out? So as the water vapor rises, the water is evaporating. And then we go to number 4. And Brennan, what's taking place in number 4? Right, as that warm water vapor continues to rise and evaporate, it's going to meet the cool air. When the cool air and the warm air meet, it begins to form a cloud. Inside that cloud, what's taking place here in number 5? Alana?
Precipitation's falling.
Right, so how does precipitation build? What does precipitation, or let's choose rain. With rain, what does rain start as? What did we say was a tiny drop of water? Renoa?
Droplet.
A droplet. So that droplet of water is continuing to grow bigger and bigger until it begins to fall in precipitation, just as Alana said. And then what happens in number 6? Clara, help us out.
The water falls back down.
Back down to the earth. What happens after each of those 6 things happen? Is there new water created each time? Nod or shake your heads. No, that water is being recycled and used over and over again. What a beautiful design our Creator had. Let's take a look at the layers of the earth. We've been talking about these over the past few lessons. I've given you some helpful hints to be able to remember them. Maybe you enjoy eating pizza and you like to eat the crust. Maybe you don't like to eat the crust. But just as the outside of the pizza is the crust, so is the outside of the earth. We've also talked about a cake helping us to represent what the earth would look like on the inside, how the frosting on the outside of the cake could also be the crust layer. As we cut into a cake, we can see each of the distinct layers of cake and frosting dividing up. We have 3 layers of the earth as well. Repeat them after me. Crust, mantle, core. Remembering that the top layer of the earth's crust is called the bedrock. We saw that there are 2 layers of soil that are on top of the bedrock. What do we call the top layer of soil on the earth? Scarlett, what's that called? The top layer of soil. The top soil. What layer is underneath the top soil? I used a submarine to help you there. Royan, what's it called?
Subsoil.
The subsoil. Students watching, what is the name of the top layer of crust that is underneath the subsoil? Let's see if Mikkel has the same answer.
Bedrock.
The bedrock. So the bedrock is found in the crust. And then we go to the mantle. Say mantle.
Mantle.
I gave you a hint here that the mantle is in the middle. Both of them start with M's. Do you remember the name of the very, very hot liquid rock that can be found in the mantle of the earth? Let's go to Lucia. What is it called? You're close. Jalen, what is it? Magma is that very, very hot liquid rock. Do you remember what magma becomes once it erupts from a volcano? What's that called, William? Lava. Now let's look at the next layer, which is the innermost layer, and it is the hottest layer. It's called the core. Say core.
Core.
Just as your core is at the center of your body, the core is at the center of the earth, the hottest place. Have scientists been able to do much research or visit the core of the earth? Nod or shake your heads. No, it is so hot there that there's not a lot of things that we can do to research all of the depth of the core, but we do know that it is very, very hot. Repeat after me one more time. Crust, mantle, core. Let's check with a few review questions to see just how quick you are in knowing your science facts. You're on the edge of your seat, ready to play popcorn as you pop out of your desk when you know the answers. When a student is called upon, you have a seat and prepare for the next question. What is the imaginary line around the Earth between the North and South Pole? Amory?
Equator.
It is the equator. How much of the Earth is covered in water? Students watching. Great. Monroe? 70%. Quick arithmetic. How much of the Earth would be covered in land? Bree? 30 what? 30%. Good. You may have a seat. What is that hot liquid rock found in the Earth's mantle? Ashby? It is magma. What is an instrument that is using a magnetized needle? Ivy? Compass. And what direction does it always point to? Grayson?
North.
Nicely done. Where is the Earth the coldest at? Isaiah?
The North Poles.
The North and the South Pole, so at both poles on the Earth. What is the outer layer of the Earth called? Students watching, you are very quick. Let's go to Mikkel.
Crust.
It is the crust. What is a substance or material in the Earth that has never been alive? So examples, diamonds, gold, silver. Alana? Good, it is a mineral. Very nicely done. How many continents are on the Earth? William?
7.
Good. How many oceans are there on the Earth? Scarlett?
5.
Good. What is the top layer of soil? Students watching. Monroe?
Topsoil.
It is the topsoil. All right, give your legs a break. You've been popping very quickly. All right, you're on the edge of your seat, ready to go again. What is the top? Some of you are so fast. The top layer of the Earth's crust. Isaiah?
The soil.
Not the soil. Remember, there's the topsoil and the subsoil, and then this part is the top layer. Right here?
Bedrock.
It is the bedrock. Good. What is the layer of soil below the topsoil? Clara?
Subsoil.
It is the subsoil. The innermost part of the Earth, and it's also the hottest. Kendrick, that's the?
Core.
Good. Where is the Earth the coldest? Adrian? At the poles. How much of the Earth is covered in water? Clara?
70%.
70%. What instrument uses a magnetized needle? Charlotte?
Compass.
Good. Where does the needle always point to? Lucia? Good. What is found between the core and the crust? It's in the middle. Noah, help us out. The middle layer. You may have a seat, boys and girls. Not the core. It's between the crust and the core. Alana, help him.
Mantle.
It is the mantle. What is it, Noah?
Mantle.
Good. You're ready to pop again. What is the outer layer of the Earth called? Students watching. Let's go to Ashby.
Crust.
It is the crust. The top layer of the Earth's crust is the? Bree.
Earth.
No, that's the top layer of the Earth. Mikkel?
Bedrock.
The bedrock. Good. What is the layer of soil that can be found underneath the topsoil? Ivy?
Subsoil.
Good. The hot liquid rock found in the mantle. Kendrick?
Magma.
Good. You all are doing a wonderful job. The imaginary line around the Earth between the North and South poles. Brennan? Equator. What is the substance or material that can be found in the Earth that's never been alive? Adrian? Mineral. Good. Have a seat. What would we call decayed living material that has broken down into the soil? Royan? Humus is correct. What word would describe soil that is able to produce healthy plants? Students watching? Timothy. We would say the soil is, Ashby?
Moisturized.
Not moisturized. It would be for it to be this. William? That's the decayed living materials. Alana?
Fertile.
Fertile. Everybody say that word with me? Fertile. Nicely done. Let's take a look at the board as we see the important words to watch for in our lesson. Standing beside of your desk, Mikkel, would you read these downward for me?
Soil conversation.
Okay, let's take a look here, making sure we get them in the correct order. Try it again. Conservation, good.
Rotate. Soil erosion. Fertilizer. Goalies.
Good, okay. Let's take a look at page number 90 as we dive into how we can be good stewards of our earth. God has given us a beautiful place to live and to enjoy. But with that comes a responsibility. You and I have a responsibility to take care of what He's blessed us with, making sure that we put things where they belong, that we treat things the way that they need to be treated. So what is one way we could do that? Well, we're going to see in our lesson today that taking care of the soil is one way to be a good steward of the earth God has given to us. You're on page number 90 as we begin to read about soil conservation. Say the word conservation with me. Conservation. The word conservation is a very long word that means to take care of something, to save it, or to value it. So we're going to see just how we can do that with our soil in our lesson.
The natural resources God has provided for us. Like any natural resource, we must take care of it. Farmers take care of soil by growing many different kinds of plants from year to year. They rotate their crops every few years. They know that some plants will use certain minerals from the soil. Other plants will put those minerals back into the soil.
Thank you, Alana. You may have a seat. So as it's one of the natural resources that God has provided for us, remember the word natural, it just means it's of the earth. A resource is something that benefits. A natural resource is something that is benefiting us from the earth. Farmers have to take care of the soil to be able to produce the crops that they need. There are many ways that they can help the soil. We learned that the minerals in the soil and the humus in the soil can help nutrients to be in the soil so that it can be fertile ground for plants to grow. But there are some other things that farmers do to also put nutrients into the soil so that plants can get what they need. They will rotate their crops every few years. By rotating the crops, they're planting something different. So maybe one year farmers will plant corn in one field. And then the next few years, they may plant a different type of vegetable or a different type of plant, because each plant requires different nutrients from the soil. While one set of plants may take the nutrients from the soil, by planting a different type of plant or rotating the crops, that plant may put nutrients back into the soil. So when they rotate the crops again, the next set of plants will be able to get the nutrients that they need. So working together to rotate those crops so the correct nutrients are back in the soil as they're taken away from the soil. Let's look at something extra that farmers will do to their plants at times to help them to grow better. Adrian, would you read about that for us?
Sometimes the farmer helps the soil by putting fertilizer on his field. Fertilizers contain different kinds of minerals and nutrients for the soil. The fertilizer returns to the soil the minerals that the plants took out.
Good, you may have a seat. Fertilizers will have different types of minerals and nutrients that the soil needs. So at times, farmers will take this fertilizer and spread it on the field. Maybe you've seen a farmer using a big type of machine to spread that fertilizer. Or maybe you have a small garden at home where you're using fertilizer as well to help those plants grow. Putting those nutrients on the soil is just an added benefit to the soil to keep it fertile like it needs to be. Let's look at soil erosion. Erosion is the wearing away of the soil. Would you look back up at the yellow box at the top where the terms to remember are and repeat these terms after me? Rotate crops.
Rotate crops.
That's to plant different kinds of crops from year to year. We just talked about that. And the next word is gully.
Goalie.
A ditch formed by soil erosion. We're not talking about a goalie, like someone who would keep a soccer ball from going into a net. We're talking about a gully, which is a ditch that's formed. Erosion is the wearing away of soil over time. This is something that we can prevent by being a good steward of the soil that God has given to us. So let's read about erosion together. Jalen, read it this time.
Soil erosion. Farmers also conserve soil by preventing soil erosion. Soil erosion is the loss of soil by water or wind. Dry, loose topsoil can easily be picked up by the wind and blown away. Root systems naturally prevent soil erosion by keeping the topsoil in place. Some fields have sloping land. A wise farmer keeps this land planted. If it were not, the water would run down the hill and carry the topsoil along with it. Small ditches called gullies would form where the soil washed away.
Thank you. You may have a seat. Beautiful reading. I remember growing up, I lived on a hill that was very, very high. And over time, whenever rain would pour, the water would wash away the soil that ran along our driveway. So it was something that we had to continue to work to prevent from happening so that things called gullies would not form. A gully, as Jalen just read for us, is a ditch where soil has been washed away. Look at the diagram on your page there, the picture where it labels gully. Have you ever seen one of those before where the water has rushed over or maybe wind has wore the soil away? That's because the topsoil is not tightly packed. If you remember from our last lesson, the topsoil is very loose while the subsoil is very tightly packed. What can farmers do to prevent erosion from taking place? Well, when they plant plants into the topsoil, those plants will begin to sprout roots. Root systems in the plants will help to keep that topsoil grounded so that it doesn't wash away. Have you been at the beach and a large gust of wind comes blowing past and sand is going everywhere? Maybe you're trying to keep it out of your eyes or enjoying a snack and trying to keep it out of your snack too. That's a type of erosion. Erosion is when wind or water is washing or pushing the soil away. So farmers can be good stewards by planting plants. Trees help to prevent soil erosion. Different types of crops help prevent soil erosion because those root systems are holding the topsoil down. If you're not careful in preventing it, water and wind can easily push that topsoil away, creating what's called a gully. Let's look at the top of page 91 as Monroe's coming to read a little bit more about what farmers do to prevent soil erosion.
There are many other ways farmers prevent soil erosion. They use
Short I.
tilling and plowing methods to protect and prepare the soil for planting. After the harvest, farmers often use a chisel plow to turn over the plant stubble that is left behind. Not does this prevent soil erosion, but it also adds
Long U.
nutrients back into the soil.
Thank you, Monroe. You may have a seat. So there are a lot of ways that farmers help prevent soil erosion. Aren't you thankful for the work that those men and women put into creating the things that we get to enjoy? Lots of our vegetables are coming from farmers. We may go to the store to pick them up, but there was a farmer that was responsible for being able to get them there and taking the right steps necessary to have a great harvest. Why would a farmer add fertilizer back to the soil? Students watching, what do you think? Let's see what Amory has to say. Why would they put fertilizer?
So that their ground won't be dry.
Not dry. What does fertilizer add back to the soil? Alana?
It adds
What are those things that have never been alive?
minerals.
Minerals and nutrients back to the soil. What is soil erosion? Ashby, what happens when there's soil erosion? When this takes place, soil is being lost. What is causing that soil erosion? I named 2 things that can cause it to take place. Clara, what were those 2 things? It can wash the soil away and erode it. It's on the tip of your tongue. I can see it coming there. Help her out, Adrian. Repeat these after me. Water. Water. Wind. Wind. Those 2 items can cause soil to erode or wash the topsoil away. What small ditches form as soil is washed away? What do we call those ditches, Kendrick? Gullies. You're looking at the green box. Something to remember. Timothy, would you read the soil facts for us?
Something to remember. Soil facts. Topsoil is the top layer of soil. It is dark colored, rich in minerals, and not very deep. Subsoil is the second layer of soil. It is lighter in color, has fewer minerals, and is deeper than topsoil. Fertile soil is soil which plants grow well. Soil erosion is the loss of topsoil by water and wind. Soil conservation is taking care of soil.
Thank you for that beautiful reading. Get out a pencil as we finish our comprehension check. True and false. Number 1, soil erosion is the loss of seeds by water or wind. Students watching, true or false? William, what do you think? Is it the loss of seeds? It's false. What is erosion? Erosion is the loss of what? Mikkel?
The loss of topsoil.
The loss of topsoil. Number 2, farmers rotate their crops every few years. True or false, Brennan? True. Number 3, gullies begin to form when soil washes away. Isaiah, true or false?
True.
Good. Number 4, subsoil is the layer that wears away when erosion happens. True or false, Grayson?
True.
It's actually false. What's the top layer called? The topsoil. You see it there. Students watching, thank you for joining with us. You've done a wonderful job in science. I'll see you in our next lesson.